I just sent a harassment to an unknown email address to a massage therapist business, maybe, on the internet. Okay. I was looking for a sex offender registry, for the sex offenders to myself, that they register that they want to go to jail and prison, including the point that they are a sex offender to somebody. So I did send a harassment text message. No, I'm sorry, it was a email. Yeah, email message. What was it? A photo image. Yeah, and I identified the photo as someone that was specific to the, sex offender registry. So it was about a few sentences, some sentences, and the photo image. I took a screenshot off of the internet. Well, I am the overlord speaking. The soul of the superior founder does not know how to harass somebody, why to harass somebody, when to harass somebody, and when not to harass somebody. Isn't that just eliminating the harassment? When not to harass somebody, so you eliminate that. You don't harass somebody. So the 2 photo images I sent to the email address were acknowledging that I don't know whose email address it is because nobody gave it to me. I got it off the internet. And then I sent a photo image, a screenshot I found on the internet of Howard Chait, and a screenshot I found on the internet of Noah Ricken. And I sent them both to an address that would be an email address, not physical address, email address only, to Howard Chait, possibly business. But I don't know that because he didn't give it to me himself. I found it on the internet, an email address. It starts with info, INFO. Then it has the A with a round, and then the rest of it. And I don't actually know if who would ever read it. So it's a harassment to the email addresses on the internet. It's not deceased. Yeah. So what you do when you harass myself, that's not really harassment because I am alive in prejudice. And that means you put me off my prejudice and you don't know it because you don't believe in me. But why? You don't believe in what? Because I do alive, and I don't afford that you don't know who I am or know what I do for a living. So you don't tell me that I need to look for what I need someplace else. And by the way, where am I going? You want to know. This is a chocolate milk and grape soda dreamsicle. I just made it in front of the camera in a piece of kitty litter. This is kitty litter. I drank a Paradise Punch lemonade by Calypso, and I saved the glass bottle, and I've reused it a number of times by cleaning it with tap water. And then I can't really use dish soap. I can just use tap water until I don't smell anything anymore, or I don't see anything stuck to the glass. I have to shake it with the cap on and pour out the water. And so it looks mostly clean, but I can afford a nice mug. Like the new mugs that are out are like Stanley mugs and all the various other names like Brewmate, Hydro. There's a clear one. I don't know what the name is. I think it's made of glass, and there's possibly one made of plastic with a lid on top that looks wooden or something that would seal it on top so it doesn't spill. And it has a straw. I don't really like the straw. I didn't really press Mitch to give me a mug because I don't like the straw, but I can afford the mug if I can just drink out of it like a mug. So I've been working for myself deceased, and Mitch feeding of my leverage has collapsed completely. And I'm still alive here. I'm going to need food ongoing. And it can't be that you don't bring me food because you don't hold alive. You still owe me that I hold alive. Well, that's you being alive that way. I can't afford that Mitch would just not be alive sending food because he sent some before since I want to say about May of 2025 through now is October of 2025. He's been sending food and I need it. I can't afford that he would just stop. There's no one else who had come looking for that. I needed food. I can't find somebody else to replace himself. He's a Moser, Moscr, and so was I before I died out of my last name, but I still need food. Well, so what do I get for that I'm working? I sent Mitch a shopping list today and I fell asleep all the way through their delivery period between 5 and 7 p.m. I woke up at after 7 p.m. And so I didn't receive a delivery today no matter what. I wasn't awake. And now I do need the food for as soon as I can get it, but I don't afford that I don't get it. I'm going to die out of myself alive just to get food. For that I worked. And you've been living, you, the strangers, everyone who's not myself, is living off of that I am eating food and your leverage that you have money and you're spending it on myself and accusing me of that I stole it because you made the money and you want to spend it on yourself. But you don't understand. It's not your money that way. If you made the money, it's not yours. You made the money in the bank, that's damages in God. You can't cover for the damages in God that you made by that you withdraw the money and spend it on food and eat it yourself. You're way off base. You work for the money that I worked for. You work for the money I was born with. You work for the money that you you work for your own mental capacity and you consume that money as well. That means you deliberately accumulate money in the bank just to withdraw it and spend it on yourself. And that money is due, if it's, you're putting the pressure on God to make money with employment, that money is due to myself. You can't withdraw it and spend it on yourself. And if you make keys, you can't keep them. You have to turn them into jail and go to prison. And you need to make keys for the jails and prisons for yourself to stay there. Let me be specific. When I say you need to make keys for the jails and the prisons so that you can stay there, that's you need to be inside the jail and prison. You make a key while you're inside the jail and prison and you take custody of yourself and you stay there with your own keys in the jail and prison as long as you want or until you die. It's really between you and your God. It's about to get angry up in here because I am homeless. I'm homeless and I'm still inside this homeless shelter apartment, and it's filthy and no one will clean it. And I'm not going to clean it for you because I didn't make it filthy. Nope. Jordan Turpin. She's from California, but she's been on the Las Vegas, Nevada, I believe, local news. Jordan Turpin is female. She said on the news, I saw this on television. I don't know Jordan Turpin personally, but she lived in a house that nobody was cleaning it, and it was full of people. And she called it filthy or in filth, living in filth were her words, more or less. I'm living in some filth right here. I do clean, but I am not full height right now, and I'm not doing much cleaning. It's just light cleaning for what I need to do to make sure it's like I can eat. I need everything that I eat in my mouth to be clean, and I need where I sleep to be clean. I need what I wear to be clean. I need this table that I'm doing the internet on to be clean, but I think the floor is hopeless. There's terrible stains on the floor that need to be cleaned off with a lot of heavy soaps if I'm going to stay here any longer. Well, you won't give me a key to someplace else, and you're really not allowed in here to clean because you owe me keys. And yet I don't trust you, and yet it's filthy in here. What are you going to do? So what would you like from me? Because you're illegally alive and shunning, and I am on the meters. You shun, but you wouldn't leave your car parking at a parking meter and allow it to expire with a red tag on the parking meter that reads expired. Leader, because I'm angry. There are new parking meters now, but I'm used to the old ones that have a red flag that moves and it reads expired. And then you get a parking ticket for that. And if you get too many parking tickets, they tow your car. But why don't they just tow your car immediately? You don't have good common sense. Somebody has common sense and they say, I need to plug the parking meter for 1 hour. I'm going to insert 4 quarters coins into a parking meter. I can't use the credit card parking meters. I know they have those out now, but I'm just talking about if it was a parking meter that receives coins. So you put in 4 coins for an hour, and then you look at your watch and say, okay, I have to be back in 45 minutes so I can move the car before it's an hour. So if you come back in an hour and a half, and then you see that you have a parking ticket, you gasp and you say, that's shocked. I knew I was going to be back here in 45 minutes to make sure I can move the car so that I wouldn't get a parking ticket. And I'm late by 45 minutes. I have a parking ticket, and I'm shocked that I did that to myself. But that's not common sense. Common sense is the meter maid called a tow truck and towed your car immediately and quit their job. That they're not going to be a meter maid for you. They're not going to help you with your shock problem. That you don't know how to turn over your car keys to the meter maid. That you should be waiting for the meter maid to give the meter maid your car keys and tell them they can have the car. So what's deranged in society? My house had cars, and I don't owe that I ever was in a house that was parking any cars because I don't have a car in the karma. I had fun with the cars, like I could play tennis or, you know, go out to a restaurant to eat. But it's not true that I would want to park a car because I need a car to move around myself deceased. I don't actually need a car for that. I can use a car because I am deceased, but I don't really need to. Is that slow? I don't have custody of myself to tell you yes or no if I do or don't want to get in a car. I don't have custody of myself. You owe me the food and you just won't bring it so hard. It's past the point that I would really bring it up. My God and I, we think we have never been so angry in all of myself. We are angry because you are disappointment, unnecessary, unheard of roughness on myself. You say no like it's security and what I think about you who. Someday I want your undivided attention, watching me prepare my own homemade Yoo-hoo chocolate beverage. Is it made by a company that's known? Should we just say it's Yoo-hoo? For example, it's not Nestle's Yoo-hoo or something like that. What is the company that makes Yoo-hoo? I don't really want to drink it because to myself, it would be like if somebody had chocolate milk like this and they poured it into a glass, added water and sugar, that would be Yoo-hoo to me. But I was watching Karina, she made some, what I would call Yoo-hoo, and she inspired me that I want to do it, but she did something I wouldn't do. And I left a comment and I got a response from somebody else, not her. She puts the cinnamon sticks in the blender, but she strains it through a strainer, so you don't have to worry about it. You can drink it that way. You can't put a cinnamon stick in the blender. It's a cinnamon stick by design. You just take it out the same way you put it in. That's why it's a stick. You don't put it in a blender. I want to make my own yoo-hoo. I can do it. I just need a house. Never mind. Skip the house. I will see you in Superior Founder about me making yoo-hoo in front of you. And then you can go on in Superior Founder and see how you made yourself angry in God. Yeah, well, I'll do things for myself. But I get angry about things that affect my head. You know, my eyes can see, my ears can hear. My head has recording things for me, witnesses myself, and what I remember over time of what I've been through with my head. So I can get angry in Superior Founder, but you're supposed to see that you are really wrong to be angry with myself. I would like that to come through, and that you would see, yeah, that's really what it is to be God, and what's wrong with this world, which is enormous population of strangers. So what does Superior Founder look like? I've seen some pictures on Pinterest. I don't know what they are, some kind of impressions of heaven and Jesus. And there are big crowds of people, and still tables with food on them, like long tables with lots of chairs and food on Pinterest. Is that what it's like up in heaven? We don't really know right here, but I'm suggesting I would call it Superior Founder, but I'm here is after Superior Founder deceased. If you see me, there's nothing really for you. I'm all there is, and you need to find yourself die out of that you're formed in illegal genitals. You're not really here to delight in the world, even though you moved it a lot, but that was illegal because I find it illegally there. You're not supposed to find it and spend it on yourself. So, Superior Founder, I'll see you up there, but you're not going to be angry with me anymore. I'm the one who's going to get angry. And you're not going to fight back with me ever.